Real talk, raw truth, raging hearts. Welcome to From the Minds of Raging Brats. Like, share, and subscribe.
Hi, welcome to From the Minds of Raging Brats. I'm Heather.
I'm Ashley.
So how was your week?
Oh, it's been frustrating on a lot of levels that I don't want to discuss. So, how's your week been?
My week has been a roller coaster, like a major roller coaster. And we know that I will be discussing it because that's what I do. um, this last weekend, we knew, like last week on the podcast, I'm pretty sure I talked about how by Wednesday I was going to hear from some ex and it was going to be the real deal. Like the person is going to come back with growth and consistency and this is real love and you just need to be open to it, but also don't give your all to it until it proves that it's here and it's done the work and it's going to be consistent and gonna be what you need. So until that person proves themselves, stay open to the possibilities. When they said that, I was like, sure, no problem. Because like the amount of like actual possibilities guys coming in that start chatting me up that actually catch my interest for more than, I don't know, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Is like slim to none. Like some guy on Tinder the other day asked me how Tinder was for me. I said it's 100 losers to one decent guy. Because 100 people hit me up with booty calls and dumb shit, even though my profile is very clear on what I'm looking for. And only out of those 101 guy will come and be like actually curious and asking real questions and want to get to know me. And even out of those, say one out of every 100 of those one actually gets to a second date.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I am very picky. And we know that I went through a lot when my breakup last year happened, that changed a lot for me, including the creative force that started this shit.
Yeah.
But like this last one, because everything was so good, like it showed me what that looks like, what good looks like for me, like what secure, happy love looks like for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, today was actually the first day that I could look at his pictures, and I had forgotten that he had taken a video of us kissing, and that was in there. And typically, since the breakup, we'll say, I get really nauseated and I want to throw up when I see his picture, and my heart starts racing, like I tear up, and that didn't happen. Today, like I got a little twinge in the bottom of my stomach, like not completely gone, but enough to where I was like, okay, I'm actually in this space feeling good. And then I'm sitting there thinking, if this is just the beginning of the abundance and manifestations that are coming, I might have a shock heart attack.
Oh, no. We don't get to have heart attacks when things are getting good. That's not allowed.
Well, you know, things have been getting good for a while, and I still recently had that almost unaliving attempt. So, you know, things
Yeah.
being good doesn't necessarily mean everything when you've got mental illness. Sometimes you could be at your happiest, and that's when you're also at your lowest. How? I don't know, but
Yeah, I do definitely understand. Like, if mental illness made sense, then it would be a one-size-fits-all diagnosis, treatment, everything. They'd just be like, oh, not a problem. Just do this, this, and this. Not instead of, okay, you have this, so we need to do these things to help. It's not going to cure shit. But maybe you might realize that they aren't as bad as they were a year ago, even as bad as your brain's trying to make it out to be. It gives you the tools to get through. And sometimes with mental illness, those tools aren't enough.
No, sometimes your brain is just stupid. Like earlier this week, because the ex came back into the picture, it stirred up a lot of emotions the next day after talking to him. Because like there's still deep feelings there. Like I don't stop loving somebody once I love you. My love can change, but it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Even if I choose to never speak to you for the rest of my life. But so there's still deep feelings there, but then, you know, this more recent breakup is where my heart was invested.
Yeah.
And so when this ex came back into the picture, I was like happy about it. Like I really am happy and really open to see where it's going, because it really was the first safe love I've ever had.
Yeah.
So to have that, but the whole package, like all of it, the emotional safety, the physical connection, the physical attraction, the mental connection, the emotional connection, that was what I wanted then. Like that was what I was trying to get at, and why I had to ultimately walk away, because I wasn't getting it. So I'm like super open to it, but it really does make it hard. And at one point I was like, okay, Rowan, I think I fucked up the blood magic. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, because this hurts so bad, and I haven't been hurting for over a week about this, and all of a sudden it hurts so bad, and I miss him so much. And it doesn't make sense, because I'm like actually happy about talking to this person again. And I thought that I was past this. And he's like, love doesn't work that way. He's like, when you love somebody, of course it's going to stir up feelings, more recent feelings of love. And if there was anything left there that you still hadn't grieved and worked through, of course that was going to bring that up with a force. Old habits die hard. They're going to cling twice as hard when you're getting rid of them. It's like trying to pull out a root when you're getting a root canal. Like you got to make sure you get it all, and it's not going to come out easy. It's going to fight to stay. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so you're sure I didn't fuck it up? Because the whole purpose was to cut ties if we're not meant to be together, and to protect both of us, and to leave us both with clarity, but not to tie us together unless we choose to do so in a healthy way that honors both of us. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure, because if I somehow tied this fucker's soul to me and I'm going to spend the rest of my life suffering, I will lose my shit.
No. You ask for protection and severance, and sometimes the best protection the universe can grant us is to let us feel our feelings so they don't sneak up on us later when it's important.
Well, and I feel that, because right now the connection with my ex is just starting to open back up, and I definitely don't want, like, I would hate to be, I know TMI, but I would hate to be in bed later, like when that time comes, bed with him, and then burst into tears because it's not the other person. And then he's like, what? And I'm like, not like that. You just don't understand the emotional connection.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand what I'm here putting in work for, and now you're thinking about him? What?
Especially at that moment.
Yeah. So I do understand like where Rowan was going, like, hey, like you said, inopportune time is not when you want those kind of feelings coming out of nowhere. So I get that it's good that I'm processing it, but it's also really hard for me because the end that just happened with the most recent person, was silence. So that was so hard. And my previous ex, the one that I'm talking to again, like, he has a job that's very intensive and he doesn't have like access or even time to be on his phone a lot of the time. And for me, like, it's so important to have that communication like throughout the day. Um Even if it's just touching base with like a smiley face or a little kiss that I was thinking about you in this moment, like, for me, that helps me feel safe in the relationship. Like, because that's like at the core of all of my relationships. Like, that's why I guess my core wound actually is abandonment, even though like people are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's because I never felt good enough to be loved for me, fully loved and accepted for me. So at the core of it, it is an abandonment wound because you're gonna leave. I'm not enough, so you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave. You're gonna leave. And this one very much hit that shit. I mean, it was weird too, the contrast, because this real deep connection and then this real deep hurt.
And I think most, if not all, people that have BPD, like one of their root causes or things is a fear of an abandonment. And like, I've definitely had people be in my life like, what the fuck do you mean abandonment? Like, I didn't abandon you. And it's like, well, there's more than one type of abandonment. Yes, there is physical. Dad goes and gets a pack of cigarettes. Hey, got that too. And there's also emotional abandonment, mental abandonment, and just because you are not abandoning your children, but you have to work 16, 18 hours a day. No, yes, you are providing for their lives, but a child's psyche does not realize you're paying the bills. Not a super young ones, at least. That's just the unfortunate reality of it. That's why you got to have the good support systems in there to make sure that they are getting the love, the attention, the everything they need when you are gone. So it doesn't feel like the big, huge gaping hole of, oh no, they know you're going to come back, you're going to have fun, they're going to love on you, it's going to be great, and you're going to take a nap.
Well, and I think that a lot of people have those kind of wounds, whether they realize it or not. I think that a lot of people, just by how society pits us against one another, especially women, but pits us against each other, like, I think it's a very common feeling that most people are like, in their internal dialogue, are like, I, on some level, am not good enough or not enough, or I'm too much. I know I have gone between all of those feelings so often in my life. Like, people talk about imposter syndrome. Like, I've never called it that, but when you get into what it looks like, I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And there are days when it still happens. Like, even now, when I'm working through all this stuff and I'm in a much more confident, secure place than I've ever been, still, there are days when I wake up and I like want to cry just because I'm alive still. And people are like, what? And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm good enough to even be here. And then people will say things like, when I make comments about being single, and they're just like, it's not, another person doesn't define you. No, they don't. I'm aware of that. Please shut the fuck up. You don't know my process. You don't know how I work. You don't know how everything works for me. Personally, I am a better person all the way around when I'm in a healthy relationship, or when I'm in a relationship, but a healthy relationship is better.
Yes.
Because my person that I am, I need those connections in order to feel safe enough to be myself and to look inside myself and find how to fix whatever I don't like. Because when I don't feel secure. It's like the not sleeping for years. People are like, what the fuck? Well, when you feel unsafe anytime you're unconscious because of things that have happened to you and you're single, that means you're not sleeping most of the time. Because there's nobody that makes you feel safe when you lay your head down. There's nobody that you can curl into and even trick yourself into telling yourself, hey, this person is my safety net while I close my eyes and get my 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and see, nobody has the right to be telling anybody, like, you need to be in a relationship or you need not to be in a relationship, or, oh, you're so good, like, by yourself, you should just be fine. Because at the end of the day, it's nobody's damn business but yours. And what takes care of your mental health. Like, you know how I feel about relationships and all that crap. But for you, I want you to find your person because I know it's going to make you so happy and feel so fulfilled. And I want everybody in my life, but especially my best friend, to feel the best she can in her life. And if that's what's going to make you happy, then fuck yeah, that's what I want for you. But at the turn of the life, like, you've never told me, Ashley, you need to be in a relationship. You're going to be such a better person when you're in a relationship. Like, because, you know, they stress me the fuck out. Like, I don't look at it like, oh, yay, a relationship. I go, oh, fuck, I hope I'm not getting conned. Like, and that's really how it feels at the beginning of relationships for me. I don't do the honeymoon thing. I do the, I need to figure out all your tails thing.
And I know I give you a lot of shit, but that's because I know ultimately you do want a relationship. It's just not easy for you.
I just think that my version of a happy relationship and most people's version of a happy relationship is a little different. And that's very hard to find.
Absolutely. Okay, so realistically, any real relationship for women like you and I is hard to find in today's day and age because we are in an era where masculinity has been so beaten down and told that it's toxic so much that there's very few masculine men left. They want to effeminate themselves as much as possible because they think that's what gets the chicks. But here's the thing. Women like you and I, which are more in abundance than people think. There are more of us than normies and prudes.
That's why dark romance is one of the number one growing genres of literature.
Or smut, as I call it.
Yes.
But that's real. That's because the whole world is missing masculine men and women especially. Like even women that are not submissive or lean into that, even dominant women prefer masculine men.
Yeah, whether it's their friend,
because
their
it's
romantic
like,
partner, whatever.
Yeah, but where I was going with that is because even the most dominant woman at the end of the day, like when her day is shit and stuff like that, she doesn't want to come home to have to pick the pieces up for her man. She wants to come home and fall apart in his arms and know that he's strong enough to hold her while she falls apart and fixes herself.
Yeah.
Not fix it for her, not do a fucking thing except for be there to hold her and remind her who she is.
Mm-hmm. And, like, for me, like, not being straight, like, I usually am the more masculine one when I am with females. Like, but I like being the one that, like, provides and spoils and takes care of, but at the same time, I have to have a man that can top my dominance because that is what I want to be with somebody else. Like, I want to be able to be small and safe and, like, taken care of, like, in the ways that I need, but it's very hard, and honestly, like, I'm not going to lie, it is women's fault that this has become a problem. And, I'm not saying if you don't like masculine men that you are an issue. I'm saying that every time a man raises your voice, you're like, that's abuse. No, it's not. Every time a man says, hey, let me take care of this, I got it. And you're like, so you don't think I do? And you cause a problem every single freaking time this happens. It's men, they're like, okay, so I can't act how my grandpa, and I'm not saying like the assault and the creepiness, but I can't like lead. I can't do it these things in the way I've been taught to do them. So if I just make myself small and docile and compliant, that is how I will be able to procreate, basically. But I think you'd be shocked if you just looked at her sometime and been like, hey, this is how things are gonna happen. I planned the date. I'm picking you up. This is the time. This is how you should dress. Or, hey, like, oh, and it doesn't have to be fancy or anything like that, but you take charge in those ways, and you would be surprised how many women are like, okay, I gotta shut
Tell
my
you what,
brain off of a little bit.
tell you what, you tell me what I'm wearing, you better either have it laid out for me or you better have bought me something and it better fucking fit.
Yeah.
Not because I care that he chooses what I wear. I don't. In fact, yeah, that kind of shit makes my toes curl. Like, tell me what to do. Tell me where I'm going. Make my life easier, because we know that my life is not easy and I have a lot of shit on my plate. And if you can take a little bit off of it and make it fun for me as well, then we're going places.
Yeah.
You're not going to get rid of me very easy, actually. So you better be aware of that one. Not that I am a stalker or ever have been one, but you give me good loving and then disappear, I might.
I'm not a stalker. Never been charged with that one.
I'm not a stalker, but if I want to find something out, I've never found something that I couldn't find.
Yeah. The very few things I can't find, I got friends. They like finding things out for me, because usually by the time I go to them, I'm gonna have some type of big ass reaction to finding out whatever it is, and they get a free show.
Well, and usually what most people don't realize is, like, you're not the only one, but most of my closer friends, when I start talking seriously about anybody, because that doesn't happen very often, that's really hard to do with me. If I start talking seriously, they've already like deep dive minus the PI investigation and come back and they're like, okay, we're gonna sit back and watch. They don't tell me, they just sit back and watch. And then when fuckery starts, they're like, okay, so this, and this is going on, and this, and this, and did you know that they were from here? Did you know that they did this? Did you know that they... I'm like,
Yeah, well, it's like your most recent ex. I was like, yeah, he's who I thought he was. And you're like, what does that mean? I was like, well, this is his baby mama. This is the people he hung out with for years and years. And by the way, I didn't go to school with him or anything. I was like, oh, yeah, I know who his brother is too, and his family. And I'm like, this fucking small ass town or valley. It's not just the town.
yeah, listen, I'm grateful for the time we had together, because like I said, he did show me what I'm looking for exactly in a relationship. But man, it takes a lot to get under my skin the way that he did, to where I have to do magic to get rid of you.
Yeah.
And the way he got under my skin and then ghosted makes me so angry. Not because because literally if he would have just been like, you know what, I changed my mind, this is too much of a hassle, this is whatever, it would have been fine. But not. And then finding out yesterday purely by accident, while I'm like looking for some settings on one of my stories, the smoke story that's for everybody, I realized even though I unfriended him and everything, he's still on that smoke story and hasn't removed himself. And so I'm just like, why are you lurking?
Right? That's weird.
You are the one that ghosted. What? I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised, because I'm addictive. Especially when you get that softer side of me that doesn't look away when you grab me by the throat and say I'm taking charge. Yeah, that's a side that they don't forget easy. But I also know that it takes me so much to sever ties emotionally with somebody that it's really hard for me to pick it back up. In fact, if the universe would not have like told me that this ex was coming back into the picture that's here now, I'm not sure I would have given him a chance to talk to me.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
would
you
have
would have.
like, no, because my brain would have been like, we are not going through that
No, it
devastation
would be like,
again.
we need closure or time for us to build closure within ourselves. Like, I can't deal with this.
Well, no, I have closure on that one. That's the thing. That's like I told him, I'm like, things have changed a lot. Like what
Not him.
I took our
The other
breakup,
one.
the heart. Oh, the most recent?
The other one, yes.
That would be a whole different ball game
Yeah.
because silence is invasive and corrosive and detrimental. So it makes the closure part so much harder, which was why I had to do the magic, because I can't sit in that unfinished business. And I was not going to have a situation like with the ex I'm talking to now, because that literally broke me. And while Rowan swears that that wouldn't happen again, because I now am like really strong and confident in my sense of self, whereas back then, because he wasn't giving any of himself, like I was not able to feel confident in who I was, and I wasn't able to share most of who I was.
Yeah.
Whereas that was not the same here. Like everything was shared up front. It was like, here's all the fucking bullshit. And he's like, yep, here's all my bullshit. And I'm like, that's great. And I mean, so I've seen how good it can be when I get what I want and need. And everybody around me realized it too. Like I said, the biggest thing was James being like, hey, I know you're my ex and all, but I've never seen you that happy. Like I've literally never seen you that happy. Your face glowed even when he wasn't around, when you guys weren't talking. It wasn't like just like when you get a text from somebody that you like and you're talking and all of a sudden you're smiling and then you're back to your normal day. No, it was just like I couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
So I hope that this situation can become that. But the universe is apparently testing my resolve because I've got six other possibilities. Also, Ohio really hurt my feelings.
Ohio hurt your
yesterday.
feelings? Oh,
Yeah,
like the
the one
person
person.
Ohio or the state?
No, the person.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was like, how did a whole motherfucking state offend you?
No.
Okay, I understand
the
now.
the person in Ohio hurt my feelings because he sent me a song yesterday called Tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And in the song, it's like, I know he's got something on me that makes you think I'm a piece of shit and that I never tried to make you mine. And I hope you feel me inside of you when he's kissing on your tattoos. And I was like, dude, what did I do?
Right? That's fucked up.
I mean, it's not like I wouldn't have given him a full chance. Hell, we'd probably be together right now if he was here. Like, he actually was the first person to come into the picture after the ex I'm talking to now left on a positive note, like not with the fuckery, just like, I'm interested and I'd like to talk and get to know you. And like I've never not told him the truth. He and I have chemistry on every level that I need. but there is a huge distance between us that we can't bridge right now.
Yeah.
Maybe ever. Like, I don't know that. That's the thing. But like, I've never just cut him out of my life. I was like, I still want to be in your life, like friend wise. Like, I still want to talk to you most days. You're a fucking amazing person.
Yeah.
But now I don't know what the hell's happening because he sends me that shit and then stops talking.
Well, apparently he was hoping that you would stay single for him for a little bit.
I was single for a long time.
This is also true.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May.
Yes. But you and I both know some people are only going to be happy if you are single or you are with them.
Well, then that's on them, no?
Oh, yes, I agree with that.
Okay. I mean, it's not like I'm not willing to put an effort, but I have children and he has a business.
Yeah.
And while, yes, there is the move in the works, that's still not there. That's Montana. Montana is not Ohio. And, if he was like, oh, hey, I would express some interest in shifting there when you go there, and that's in a couple of years, can we just do the LDR and continue what we've got online and on the phone until then? Like, I am the kind of person that could do that, but you got to speak up. You got to be consistent. You can't be mad at me and then just disappear on me because you know what silence does to me. You literally have watched all the fall. Like, we were friends before I broke up with the ex I'm talking to now. So like, he's watched all the devastation. He knows all my crazy, which is why I'm just like, why are you just throwing yourself out of the picture just because I found somebody else that I loved? It doesn't mean that I stopped caring about you. It just means that I'm realistic about that connection. It's not a connection that's realistic for either one of us.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, would I love to think that he was just sitting there single pining for me too? Yeah, but I'm realistic. I'm like, I have eyes and I know that you are not walking out of a bar on a weekend without getting somebody to go clap cheeks with you, sir. Even if you don't have somebody that you're in a relationship. And I've never lied to him. I told him, like, you're not here. When he asked about us having a relationship, I'm like, you're not here. You can't get here. I can't get there. At least not anytime in the near future. So I'm going to continue to date. If I meet somebody, I will let you know. And when I did, I did. And then he was upset about it.
Yeah. Typical.
And then when he found out it ended, like, he was like, I'm sorry. Like, he was sorry to me that it happened, but at the same time, he was smiling while he was saying it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm sorry your feelings are hurt, but this doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
Yeah. And I get it. If, like, the situation was reversed, I'd feel the same way. I'd be like, I'm really sorry you're heartbroken. And also, in the same time, fuck that bitch. Thank God she's out the picture. But I also want something real rooted here in the now. And I want somebody that wants to put in that amount of effort. Like, it's not like, oh, well, I know it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. It really is, having a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted that, don't you think that you would have, like, figured out a plane ticket in the last 8 months?
Something.
I mean, or been like, hey, if I send you a plane ticket, because I can't really leave, and I know you've got responsibilities, but if I send you a plane ticket, would you be willing to come out for X amount of days and just spend time here and see if this is going to work for us? But that hasn't happened. So, like, I can't I can't put stock in maybes. Also, there's another guy that's a fairly decent perspective that I told you about. He also is a firefighter and a mechanic, and apparently working at a fair right now. Apparently he likes to stay busy. What's tripping me out is that all three of these gentlemen in my orb right now that are actual possibilities I would consider. Like, because there are other gentlemen in the orbit that are nice to talk to, friendly, but it's not somebody that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm staying open because the universe said stay open to the possibilities. But if it were up to me, only the three people that I just talked about would really have any possibility of reaching me on that level. And all three of them are what?
Firefighters.
Scorpios.
Oh, of course they are.
Yeah, Rowan was talking to me about that last night. He also brought up your son. He was like, I just think it's funny that whether romantic or otherwise, friends, best friend's son, you just can't move yourself out of these little Scorpio nests, can you?
That's great.
I'm like, apparently not.
Well, Pisces and Scorpio.
Oh no, according to my birth chart, Scorpio or Cancer are my energetic match.
Yeah.
And I have never met a Cancer man that I enjoyed spending time with. They're a little, okay, this is gonna sound weird, but every Cancer man I've ever met is a little too soft for me. Because I'm a tough bitch. I got a mouth. I talk back. And if you cry because I talked back, I'm leaving. I'm the crier in the relationship, sir. Understand that. I'm the one that cries at the drop of a hat. You can cry when it's serious, but otherwise, don't be coming to me with that. I'm gonna cry every time you raise your voice at me, because guess what? I'll raise my voice a lot just so that I can show you how much I can make you cry, and then I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
And I know that about myself. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I just know that's I need a strong fucking man.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. You look as tired as I feel as well. Do you know that the entire time waiting for you to contact me from 5:30 until you got a hold of me recording, I was asleep every 5 to 10 minutes. And then I jolt awake going, is it time? No. Okay, stay awake. If you go to sleep, you're not going to wake up. You're going to sleep right through this night.
Yeah, I'm around about 4 hours sleep right about now. I need a nap.
I feel it. I got 7 last night. And then I woke up 10 times more exhausted. And Rowan said it's because I never sleep, that when I get 7 or 8 hours, my body's like, you're giving me more, bitch. Back to sleep you go.
Yeah. I could definitely see that.
I'm like, oh, so my body's trying to waterboard me with sleep. And he's like, why is that where your mind takes you?
Man, you should understand by now.
He does. He just likes giving me a load of shit.
Well,
I am very fucking impressed though that my interim therapist is no longer a skeptic, because I talked to her about the channeled message and how this week went and the X and all that. And she was like, I'm like, yeah, I can send you the link to the channeled message. And she's like,
no, thank you.
She's like, I've heard of spiritual people having signs, but like nobody to the day giving them details of somebody coming back into their life. I'm like, right? That's what I'm saying. It's a little trippy, and I'm trying not to take the control back and the reins and make my own chaotic decisions. I'm trying to just sit in the intuition, but it's so hard.
Well, I personally can't say nothing about that, because right now, actively, the universe and I are having an argument, and I refuse to lose. So, we will see how that plays out for me.
Is it losing if you end up with exactly what you really want?
It's the loss of an argument, so it's a lose. And see, who's gonna deal with that?
See, and that's why I say I fully admit to my investigative ways, because I already checked that person out. I went and stalked their shit, laughed my ass off, came back and was like, yeah, I think this one's gonna be okay. Meanwhile, you're just like, what the fuck?
Oh, you're not the only person to be like, why is that person all over your feeds? And I'm like, y'all need to stop. You know, before I got all self-conscious, I used to flirt with everybody, and they're like, yeah, but you don't now.
You're like, shut up. Let's stop stating the obvious, Captain Obvious.
It's okay.
You're like,
Soon I'll go back to
if he's oblivious, that's his problem.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, some guys actually do need a flashing neon sign.
I know.
Once they get the sign, then they're all on board. But some guys need an actual come and get me. Ding, 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 dinner bell.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's probably what's going on, but I won't be the one to do that, so I'm okay. Actually,
Oh, so
the
you're
first
saying
time
I need to
met...
send a friend request.
Yeah, I'm not telling that story, never mind.
Good.
I don't want to.
Aw, come on.
Not on the podcast.
So what you're saying is that I need to send him a friend request.
No, that is not what I'm saying. Saying I need a nap.
All right. Well, now that I've harassed my best friend on the podcast, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks. Oh, I did forget to say, hey, one of my parents that we have brought up last week about some issues that have happened has recently disowned me, which I find amusing considering of all the cord cutting magic I just did, and that being the first person to go. It's a little confusing and hilarious.
It personally makes me a little sad only because, you know, no person that stepped into a parental role should be so easily influenced, is all I will say.
Well, I feel at this age, now if this would have happened years ago, I wouldn't have felt the same. But at where I'm at right now, I feel like you get the effort you put in out of a relationship, and there's been little to no effort in a relationship with me personally, like trying to actually spend other than a couple of meals together in 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years is a long time to ignore your child and expect them to be heartbroken when you walk away.
Well, the thing that you will probably find, and the same thing I found when my father walked away from me, is they want it to hurt you more than it does when you've actually done a certain amount of healing and realized the toxicity they offered to your life.
Well, that's something he's going to have to sit with. I know that he messaged me, wants to talk to me. You disowned me. I don't feel the need to reply at that point. So that's where it's left. I've been disowned by one of my parents because of an opinion on the podcast about one of their friends. And honestly, if you put anybody above your kids, I don't have a lot of respect for you. I mean, unless we're talking like your kids have grown up and moved out, they have their own lives, and you and your partner, they're trying to cause conflict between you and your partner, then your partner should be your number one. But while you have especially minor children, but when you have a new relationship and you choose that over your children, I got no respect for that. I have zero respect. And when you don't have respect enough to hear your children's angry and hurt feelings without disowning them or resenting them or taking it personally because they're humans and you did cause their pain, so now that's something you need to sit with and help them get through, not the other way around. It's not their job to help you sit with it or get through it. And that's how a lot of my life has been with my family. Like, you take the responsibility for my emotions and eat yours. And I'm not doing that. Like, the reality is I'm with that person, I'm hurt and I'm angry, and I'm also just straight up fed up. I'm tired of being everybody's, as my family likes to use, whipping boy emotionally. I'm not here for that. So
you shouldn't have to be.
No. And so moving forward, I'm just gonna leave it where it's at. I don't need anybody in my life that isn't here for the right reasons. And like I said, that cord cutting was only to get rid of people that had negative intentions for my life. So when you're the first person to go on a ritual that strong and powerful, that tells me you had the worst intentions for my life. Like, you were the creme de la creme of the evil that was still in circulating my energy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fucked up to think that one of my parents had the worst intentions for me.
It is. But it's better that the universe cuts them out now than down the line.
Yeah. Well, like I said, a couple years, we won't be here and I won't be anywhere near this mess. And then if things are the way I've seen them, then it will, in a few years after that, it won't matter here nor there. So at this point, I just choose to live without people in my life that want negative intent for me. Period.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But that was just the little addition that I forgot to add in when we were talking. So with that said, everybody, tune in next week. We will see y'all in the same place, same time, 3:30, YouTube, Spotify. Hope to see you soon. Peace, love, and... Oh, I almost added my normal signature. Peace, love, and chicken grease. That's normally what I say. But here, we say what? Rage responsibly. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
We're also available on Spotify. We said what we said, and we're just getting started. Thanks for listening. Now go rage responsibly. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.